it shut Lucy up.
Well, you all are so good, Charlie Brown. That is a wonderful, spirited rendition of Scott Joplin, the Maple Leaf Rag. We love that music, and it just shows there's so much great music that we all are able to hear and play. Mr. Guaraldi, you as our resident composer, the composer for the show, what are your thoughts on some of this diversity that we are hearing from our characters? They have learned this over the last 50 years.
Well, I think they're doing a wonderful job, Mr. Schoulz. What I would add,
yes,
that these are all different eras. If you listen carefully, we've had the 18th century, which is Beethoven. We've just touched upon the 19th century. And the music that I've written, the 1960s, that's the 20th century. So we have many different forms, diverse styles.
and we're hearing them all from our characters here tonight. It's wonderful. Speaking of that Schroeder, now, this all started with your inspiration of what you did with Beethoven, but I do believe you said earlier in the show that you now play, you have stretched your limits out and you play more than just Beethoven. Is that true? That you have something other to play than Beethoven?
Yes.
Well, no, that is surprising.
It's a piece called Low C Boogie, and it goes like this.
Since his day, I think you would very much be in favor of, and that was a wonderful rendition of that. You know, I would like to ask you all a trivia question because in the next 10 days, we have a national holiday coming up called President's Day. Are you all aware of President's Day? Okay, now my trivia question for you is, which of our presidents do you think it is that has a birthday tomorrow? Tomorrow, February 12th. Sally had her hand up first.
George Washington.
You know, Sally, that is a very good answer, but it's not quite right, but it's a very good answer. You see, President's Day was put in the middle of two very famous presidents' birthdays. One was George Washington. He was born, of course, on February the 22nd. But there is the other one. So who, can I ask, who is the other one that's famous whose birthday is tomorrow? Lucy.
Well, of course, Richard Nixon.
Richard Nixon. Well, now, Lucy, that's a very interesting answer. Very interesting answer. I think I can understand why perhaps perhaps you know Richard Nixon well because he was in the 60s and 70s, and that was when Charlie Brown was getting its start and its birth and his popularity was growing. But actually, Richard Nixon is not born tomorrow. His birthday is not February the 12th. All right. Is there anyone else? Schroeder, you must know the answer to this one.
Of course, it's Abraham Lincoln.
Yes. Tomorrow, February 12th, is Abraham Lincoln's birthday. Well, we are getting close to the end of our presentation here today. Well, not quite to the end, but we're getting closer. And there's one piece that I would love to have played. It's a very famous piece written by Vince Guaraldi, and it's called Linus and Lucy. Mr. Guaraldi, would you mind playing that for the audience here?
No! Linus and I have been working on it. It is called Linus and Lucy, you know. Hey, Linus, let's go and play our duet.
All right, let's have that. Of all of this music making and coming from Schroeder and everything, and you're able to now play your own duet that Mr. Guaraldi wrote so many years ago. But Mr. Guaraldi, I still would like to hear you do a solo piece for us, one of your choosing. Will you come up and play? Would you like to hear Mr. Guaraldi play?
All right, well, I think what I will play is another very famous piece from the cartoons. And this is when Snoopy's atop his doghouse and he's a World War I flying ace. And it's just called The Red Bear.
sure that got a lot of memories going in your mind there as you hear the Red Baron from the great cartoon Charlie Brown. Well, you know, this has all been so wonderful. I feel a little bit bad, though, about Snoopy because all the characters are here. But of course, Snoopy wouldn't be able to play the piano with dog paws.
Not to mention his dog germs.
Well, now let's not be mean to Snoopy, Lucy. You know, we're all trying. So, yes.
Snoopy is my dog, and I happen to know he's been working on the Minute Waltz by Chopin. Can we at least let him try?
Let him try to play on the Minute Waltz by Chopin? My goodness, what do you think, audience? Is that... Charlie Brown, I don't know how your dog was able to learn a piece like that with dog paws. It's astounding, astounding. Just wonderful, wonderful playing. Well, I want to thank all of our characters. So much display of wonderful talent. And you can see that on my clipboard, I'm doing sketches over here for new shows, new comic strip items. And here we have Snoopy, 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 Snoopy is all over the back of my clipboard. Snoopy, who never spoke in the show, but did bow, like we just saw, many bows there. But wonderful job. So I want to thank you again all for your talent, and I want to thank all of you.
Mr. Schoulz, we heard that Schroeder inspired you too. Don't you play something?
Well, I do play something, and I have been inspired by Schroeder, and I'm particularly inspired tonight by all of you. But no, I think this is not the time for me.
Well, if you don't do it, we're all going to go on strike.
Yeah, Schoulz.
Well, we certainly cannot have them go on strike. We certainly cannot have them go on strike. The shows must go on. So I will at your request, I will play a little Beethoven medley. Back to our beginnings with our show, Schroeder's Beethoven. Here is a little Beethoven medley inspired by this whole group.